Now, 50 years ago, this is a change of pace, a London School of Economics student and his 5 bandmates hit the stage for a debut performance that failed to excite most of the jazz fans in the room.
5 decades on, the Rolling Stones is one of the most popular bands the world has ever seen.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls go by dressed in their song clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black. Flowers and my love hope never to come back. People turn their heads and quickly look away. Like a newborn baby.
Gotta love a bit of rock and roll first thing in the morning. Well, Red Symons is a former member of Skyhooks and a presenter on 774 ABC Melbourne, and he joins us now in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning. We hoped to get Mick Jagger, but sadly we could only get the old bloke from downstairs who used to be in a band. And I suspect Mick Jagger would have found this couch rather uncomfortable, and he wouldn't be happy with the fact that this coffee cup is in shot. So I'll just tidy that up.
Thank you very much. Do you want to say happy birthday to the Stones?
I think I've done my bit for the Stones. I've paid to get into their concerts on a number of occasions. I saw the Palais in about 1964, the real Rolling Stones with Brian Jones, not those fakes who came along later. In fact, the last time the Rolling Stones came here, my wife said, "Do you want to go and see the Stones?" I said, "Oh, sort of been there and done that." Saw them at the Palais, saw them at Kooyong. And she ended up going by herself, and the most extraordinary thing happened. She's in the crowd, and at the end of the concert, Charlie Watts, the drummer, threw out a drumstick. And she's not a tall person, and it flew over the heads of taller people in front of her and landed at her feet, and she has it proudly at home.
Do you wish you went now?
No, I've been there, done that. Like anybody of my age, I'm appalled to realise that they've been doing it for 50 years, because that means I must be that old.
Well, indeed. I mean, Red, you being an old rocker yourself, let me put it to you, why are they so enduring?
I think people go and see the Rolling Stones so they can say, "I've been to see the Rolling Stones." There's always one brand name that persists, because people just, they plug into that over and over again. Look, they were quite good in their day. I will say that I myself have stolen things from them musically, just as they did from all the black artists that they started off emulating. I did have a very surreal experience of meeting them. It was something like the British Council, which is some offshoot of MI5, who have an office in Melbourne, was the venue. And the then Premier in the mid-90s, Jeff Kennett, invited the Rolling Stones and some people from Melbourne to have drinks together. And I was introduced to Mick Jagger by Jeff Kennett, which was just weird for a start. But then I was introduced to Keith Richards, and I think we have a photo of that.
We've in fact got 2 photographs. Now, not that we're encouraging anyone to smoke, but you're having your cigarette lit.
And Felicity Kennett looking rather surprised there.
Well, it was a very odd thing. It was the one thing you never want Felicity Kennett to say is, "Red, this is Keith Richards. Keith, Red is a guitarist too." No, just shut up about that. Move on. But there's a bit of a Where's Wally here. Can you spot the
difference between the two photos?
Between the two photos? There's Felicity Kennett in that shot, and in the close-up, it's a little bit different. The close-up, which we are seeing now. Thank you.
It's something about your person.
Yes.
People can possibly.
Can you spot it?
I spotted it.
What is it?
Your name badge is missing.
That's right. I'm so tragic that I removed by Photoshop the name tag, because it's uncool, isn't it? I mean, you can't look cool. Oh, hi, Keith.
Hi, I'm Red.
I'm Red. I've got it. Hello, my name is.
I think you lost the cool title by wearing a paisley tie.
They were very cool at the time.
Now, they almost split in the mid-1980s, didn't they?
Well, there was the kind of, they had the usual set of deaths and sackings, yes. And I mean, really, the Rolling Stones is just Mick Jagger. Fun fact, and I pursued this on the radio a couple of days ago, but I can't find any more information. Where was Mick Jagger's mother born? Oh. In Australia.
Ah. Well, there's the Australian connection.
But I think he's ashamed of it because he never brings it up.
Now, I reckon Keith would take would be rather miffed that you've said the Stones is all about Mick.
Yeah.
What about Keith?
Well, when they revive him every now and then, you know, the new blood and all those gags, he holds up his end of the bargain. He's the anti-Mick, as it were.
But you said that people go along to a Rolling Stones concert just so that they can say, I've been to a Rolling Stones concert. Yeah. But yet they had something like 2 million people turn up for that free concert that they did on the beach in Brazil. I mean, they've still managed to get younger generations and new generations going along to see their music.
But in a sense, the Rolling Stones aren't the Rolling Stones anymore. They're those guys who used to be the Rolling Stones who represent the idea of the Rolling Stones. I know it's a little complex.
This is a very existential conversation. I'm not sure I follow it.
Now, you say they were good in their time.
Yeah.
So when was their time? You don't rate them in what, the past decade or two? I've
read many music critics who say they haven't written a decent song in 30 years. Not that any of us care, just play the old ones, that's fine. You know, Satisfaction still sounds great. Interestingly, in regard to copyright issues, and I can honestly say that the Skyhooks, the band that I played with, were influenced. We stole ideas literally from them. We have a song where we quote a bit of their Satisfaction. We played the riff from Satisfaction. Sue me, Mick. See if I can.
Now, speaking of emulating and ripping stuff off,
yeah.
Someone just recently ripped something off from you, from Skyhooks. Bit of a fan, obviously, the Trade Minister Craig Emerson.
I'm really pleased about that.
Let's take a listen.
No why I'll wipe out there on my TV. No why I'll wipe out there on my TV. No why I'll wipe out there on my TV. Shocking me right out of my brain.
Now, I reckon there's a whole generation who have no idea what he was doing because they wouldn't have known that song.
I was sitting watching the television news with my 19-year-old son, and he, you know, as all kids do, they multitask. He's playing on his computer while he's watching television, and he's down here and slouched, and I'm on the couch. And he looked up at me, I looked at him, and I said, I rock. He said, no, you rocked.
Oh,
yeah.
The past tense. Oh, yes. That hurts.
Yeah.
Well, Red, it's been a fascinating conversation. Thank you very much for being here.